I have ancestry from Syria, and from Aleppo actually. You probably heard about that in the news. It was a lot better when my ancestors were living there than it is now. My great-grandmother was a Syrian immigrant. On the other side of my family, European Jews who were fleeing the Holocaust. My great-grandfather and one of his brothers is one of the only people in my family which was like 11 brothers or something. 2 of them escaped. The rest were trying to come in. They couldn't get them in time because of the refugee restrictions. They were basically all killed by the Nazis. The Nazis went into their town and no one knows what happened to them afterward. And I mention that now because working with the Syrian American Council in the past few years, I've seen a lot of the same stories of people who, have to beat the clock, but people are actually coming after them. Usually the Assad regime is coming after them, and they have to get out because they're on a kill list or something. So it's really important that we get these people out in time before anything worse can happen to them. It's really sad for me to see, as an American Jew, that we're making the same mistakes that we made last time. And we don't take in refugees, but we also don't do anything to stop the people creating refugees, which is mainly the Assad regime. You look at international human rights monitors, you look at the United Nations, local civil society groups, they all say the Assad regime is mainly responsible for the death toll. So it's really important to think about the refugees and also the people who weren't even able to become refugees. The people who get to the visa counter in the United States, we need to be sure they all get in. But there's so many more people who are still basically trapped in Turkey and Jordan, and they have no other displaced persons camps, which are basically the same as refugee camps, only you can still be bombed, you can still be attacked by regime forces at any time. It's not really safe. It's usually less resources and services, even than refugee camps, which aren't ideal. So it's really important. There's 12 million people who are outside of their homes and have nowhere to go because of this conflict. It's really important that we work to try and find an end to the overall conflict. I just want to close with a quote from a friend of mine. He wrote this to me last week, and he's in a German refugee camp now. He was in the US for a while, but he's in a German refugee camp, actually a chemical attack survivor. He said, "In Syria, just like the rest of the Arab world, we didn't rebel against dictators to gain acceptance as refugees. We wanted to live in our own countries as equal citizens for the first time and make our countries a better place." And he asked us to work to establish safe areas for civilians still inside Syria. So there's a hope for them too, and to support justice and accountability so that they can rebuild their countries in the future. So thank you all again for coming. I really appreciate your donations and more important, your support and your willingness to do more. So I hope you'll continue to help Syria in all the different ways that it can be helped. For the refugees, for the people who are not lucky enough to become refugees, and for all the people who unfortunately have already been killed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shlomo. If you would like to know more about the events and community service projects and the happy hours that Moshe has